Hey, good Thursday morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. And what we're looking at is, definitely a more fallish type pattern. I wouldn't call it colder than normal, but we just gone through, you know, near record and record heat. So we're all out of whack of what should be going on. Normal highs now in the low 60s and upper 50s in the far north. And I think 60s are going to be quite common. We have one rain on the horizon for the next week, and that comes in. Now, bear in mind, I've been on vacation and I've been driving, and so I might be a day off, but it looks like the rain comes in tonight into Friday and even into Saturday morning. So here we go. I figured we'd start with, let's start with the temperatures this morning. And I saw actually where Bad Axe in the center of the thumb went down to 32 degrees. And these are the temperatures early this morning. So some spots down into the 20s. Yes, finally a hard freeze, I guess you'd say, in through Gaylord, Grayling, Houghton Lake, Cadillac areas. So really still just kind of a hit and miss on if you had a freeze or not. So I figured I'd start with the low temperatures over the next week. And tomorrow morning will be chilly too, probably not as cold. And in southern Michigan, still, well, I guess I shouldn't say still no freeze because it looks like Jackson area went down to 30. But this is tomorrow morning's low temperature forecast. A lot of 30s. So definitely chilly. And then we start to make somewhat of a rebound to low temperatures in the 40s over the next week or so. Radar is dry right now. Satellite imagery is, get it so you can see it. Satellite imagery is clear. Hey, let's say hi to some folks. Good morning, Connie Steiner and Jen C. Thank you. Good morning. Took my mom to Southwest Missouri to visit her sister and my cousins. So that was quite nice down by the Lake of the Ozarks. It was very warm there too. All right, so today is a dry day. Let's get into the next weather maker. I guess we can always call them storm systems, but I feel like sometimes people say, oh, there's a storm coming, and you use it as something more vigorous. So here's a weather maker. Today, maybe a shower in the thumb, but that's about it. This is through the day. We're dry. This is tonight. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So as we approach tomorrow morning, we will have scattered showers developing. UP, Northwest Lower Michigan, Petoskey, Charlevoix, Traverse City, down to Muskegon. And as we get to noon tomorrow, those showers move into the northeast part of the state, north of Saginaw. They eventually move into the Grand Rapids area in the early afternoon tomorrow and into the Saginaw and Flint areas by mid to late afternoon. Another band, more vigorous, comes through. Again, Mackinac to Traverse City to Cadillac, and then that dips southward into southern lower Michigan. So in the far southeast, you don't get the showers until probably Friday evening, and Friday overnight, the showers come on through. And then it looks like there could be a circulation that moves down Lake Michigan and makes a batch of some lake effect showers Friday night, Saturday morning or so before it moves off. Most of the weekend looks like it will be dry, I would say. Total rainfall off of this. Let's just run it out to Saturday when it's all said and done. And Jackson, Lansing, Flint, Saginaw, southeast, not much. 1/10 of an inch or less, probably. Maybe 2/10 or so. On the west side of the state, you get some of these lake effect bands. There's one across Grand Traverse Bay in toward Kalkaska. Another one maybe sets up south of that, and then southwest corner and across the UP. So you can get some half-inch streaks, but it'll be kind of hit and miss. So that's kind of why I hesitated calling it a storm system. Didn't want to mislead you. Here's a long term. And like I said, really only one rain in the forecast. This is, let's go to Saturday morning and afternoon and evening. I'm kind of showing you the big picture because it looks like the weekend is mostly dry. Sunday is dry. Now, as you get cooler with the warmer waters, I say dry because that works out best for me to be accurate to 95% of you. But you can always get an odd little stray shower off of one of the Great Lakes. The kind where you go, did it rain? Looks like the ground is wet. You miss it. It's so quick. Now, next week, Monday, Tuesday, dry. Wednesday, Thursday, dry. The drought lives on. Friday would be our next chance of some rainfall. And these storms aren't coming all too quickly or packed with moisture. So we are going to continue to have drought deepen. This is 16 days out, October 23rd, for the next rain would come in. Here's a little closer of a look for you off of the European model. That's the Friday showers right there. And then Saturday, a little lake effect off the thumb, but otherwise dry. And then Sunday should be dry. All right, what about temperatures? Like I said, we have really lost touch with what we would actually call normal. And I talked about this, like last week or the week before. In September, it was fairly warm. Wasn't any sort of record-breaking warmth, but it was fairly warm. And then it didn't cool down. So that was when we got into the first week of October, it was extremely warm compared to the 30-year averages. So we're still going to be a touch warmer than normal by maybe 5 or 10 degrees, but not 25 degrees warmer than normal like what we had. So it will feel a lot different, but it will still be slightly warmer than normal. Here you go. Today let's call it, 60 to 62 most places. And tomorrow back to maybe 67 in Lansing, Jackson, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Saline, Saginaw area, Flint, Grand Rapids 65, even Traverse City 64. And then temperatures for highs on Saturday, about 60 to 63. Sunday, drier, more sunshine, back to the upper 60s, maybe 70 next Monday, a lot of places, and maybe low 70s next Tuesday. So that's warmer than normal. What is that? That's October 15th, and here's October 16th. Let me just try to go grab something here for you. Let me show you what the average high temperature is. Bear with me a second here. Average high temperature for October 15th. I've been gone a couple days. I even want to know myself. So let's go to October and 15th. So what is normal on October 15th? And there you see it. 62, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, 61, Flint, Grand Rapids, Saginaw, Traverse City, 58. So, we're talking low to mid 60s. We're a little warmer than normal, but not extreme or abnormal. Okay, so what I want to show you is that there is a pattern change finally starting to evolve. We know it has to happen. The sun always loses power, so we know it happens at some point. And it doesn't, again, look extremely chilly, but it looks like the storm systems might start to come a little more numerous, and you can see on the upper airflow that the pattern change is coming because it gets real wavy. I always use the analogy, I love this analogy of the lava lamp. Remember when you turn it on and the bubbles are going like this, and then they get hit by one coming down, and then it gets all jumbled up. That's kind of what happens in a pattern change, in the seasonal weather pattern change from, summer to fall, or fall to winter, or winter to spring. So here's our little disturbance for Friday into Saturday. It actually merges with a storm out on the East Coast for early next week. That ridge builds back in, not as big as what it was, but it builds back in early next week. This is Wednesday and Thursday of next week, so could be fairly mild. The Friday storm system does not look impressive at all. And then you start to see October 20th, 21st, 22nd. There's maybe something that swings through, and you get kind of wavy. So in the short term, I would not say that it is really cold for this time of the year, but it's cold compared to what we've had, and fairly dry. So keep watering things, because Mother Nature's really not going to bring us a good dousing widespread across the state. I was hoping I didn't have to sneeze before I could end, but oh well. There you have it. There's your MLive morning weather update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back here again tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Bye.